Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. Welcome to the late night session that I've been having and I will continue to have. It's definitely exciting once again. Bitcoin pumps. Bitcoin pumped almost to $40,000. It's right around 39,000. And you know what? In a very long time, I haven't seen this, and that is Bitcoin was actually draining out the altcoins. And that is why right now is the perfect buying opportunity. Yes, a lot of you guys have been asking me over the last few days, right, whether or not I should get into these hot DeFis like Aave that's been pumping up to the moon, and Uniswap and Compound and all these other ones, right? And they all took a dip, even Ethereum, which is why I think this is perfect, but the opportunity looks like it may not last very long because things are coming up very, very, very quickly. So I'm having this late night session for you guys just to talk about Bitcoin, what we may see this weekend, right? There's a few articles about it, and also just basically have a good old time with you guys and talk about altcoins, talk about DeFi, whether or not it's a good buy opportunity, and look at maybe some of the coins that I've talked about before, and maybe even talk about some that I haven't looked at before. So let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, smash it up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned for my future videos. And I apologize for screwing up the sound again, right? So now I gotta redo a stream again. All right, let's get started. Let me share my screen with you guys. All right, so looking at my screen, Bitcoin is at 39,000. Like I said, you know, this is a time to be cheerful, but I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at the comments. Also, some of my new Patreon members, people are getting scared. Like, oh my God, things are going to fall down. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Bitcoin is at $39,000. I think this whole F2 pool got a lot of people scared. Every time Bitcoin goes down, people are thinking, oh, there's mass dumping. No, there's going to be periods where Bitcoin needs to come down, right? Some of these indicators that show you overbought situations, they are true. They are true sometimes. And you know what? The bots that are kind of dictating the trades for some of these bigger players, whales, right? They tend to follow them. So this is perfectly normal. Just like this morning, Bitcoin was around 37, 38-ish, right? Got a little weak, but still, look at it now. Went up another 1,000 points. And it would not surprise me that Bitcoin goes up straight up to 40,000 in the near future. So it could happen tonight. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen Sunday. I remember someone saying if Bitcoin hit 40,000 by this weekend, he was going to give me a $100 super chat. I don't know who that person is, but I'm hoping he stays true to his word. But it looks like that could very well happen. And what is perfect right now is not only is Bitcoin doing well, but altcoins, the high-flying ones, the ones that you guys have been asking about, like, hey, I need to get in. Should I get in, right? Perfect buy opportunity, though. I don't know. It may be too late. Like, for example, I have Aave pulled up. This was going up insanely, right? Recently went up to, actually this morning, went up to $540. Then it kind of stalled a little bit, and just now, like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, before the stream, you see that it started coming down, and some people are like, oh no, oh, it's going to fall, right? And it quickly dipped, and boom, right back up, and now it's nearing 500 again, so it didn't really fall. But like that kind of situation, when you see the rug being pulled, mostly it's because the bots are just automating, they're coordinating their cells. And when you see that, man, sometimes that's a really good buying opportunity, especially those of you guys that's waiting. You've been waiting for a good time to get back in, right? Had you just purchased at 429 and now it's at nearly 500, that's almost 20% gain within 5 minutes time. So sometimes you just have to sit at your screen and stare at it all day long and wait for that to happen like I do. Now, on a serious note, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be panicking about right now. Same thing with Ethereum, which was as high as 1,700 this morning, right? Now it dipped down a little bit, and you could see that it is coming right back up, right? So these opportunities, they don't come very often right now, especially with altcoins, DeFi. I mean, look at the overall market cap, almost $1.2 trillion, right? BTC dominance is still relatively low, though it went up a little bit due to what just happened, 61.3%. But this morning, it was right at like 60% about to drop into 50s. And we have not seen that for maybe years since 2018 possibly. I don't remember seeing Bitcoin dominance being the 50 percentile for a very, very, very long time. And we're right at the cusp of that. That is why recently I've been so excited about altcoins and DeFi overall, right? I kind of open my mind a little bit, look at a bigger picture, the macro view, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'm really liking the progress, the traction, what has been built, and what the future brings for the entire space. I'm really, really, really excited about it, right? So things are looking pretty darn good tonight, and I think this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, we're going to see even more explosiveness, right? I think there's a lot more that's coming. It's building up, and Bitcoin seems to be at the verge of breaking 40,000 once again. There's a lot of buying pressure, and I've been checking F2 Pool. There's not a whole lot of selling. So right now, there is nothing holding Bitcoin back other than fear itself. And hopefully you guys have none of that at this point, right? All right. So let me just cover a few articles and then just turn to you guys for some general Q&A, and let's talk about altcoins, maybe look at some charts. You know, charts is really hard to look at sometimes, especially when it comes to hot DeFi coins that have been going to the moon, but we'll attempt it anyways, and we'll just look at some few projects. All right, so the only two articles I want to talk about, number one is Bitfinex. Now, some people are still fearful about Tether FUD, right? Whether or not Tether and Bitfinex, they go under. Remember, Bitfinex took a big loan from Tether. Well, they have repaid it. And that's because the NYAG, the Attorney General of New York, been after them, right? Making sure they subpoena them, they're auditing them, right? They're making sure that they stay legit, which is why I think this Tether FUD is over, because they have recouped their costs. I mean, whatever their loan is, whatever the debt is, to repay the loan, and they're being audited. And, you know, quite frankly, remember before when the overall market cap was still low, you know, Tether kept going up and up and up, right? Now, Tether being at 28 billion seems to be like, so what? The market is at 1.2 trillion. But once upon a time when the market was like 300 billion, 400 billion, and 20 billion of Tether, that ratio was enormous, right? So it seemed like the market was just propped up by Tether. But now, you know, 28 billion on the grand scheme of things of 1.2 trillion, that's really, really tiny. And I don't really recall seeing this jump up that much anymore. So this whole Tether thing, you know, what may have been in the past, right? I think that's over. Whether or not in 2017 Tether was the reason Bitcoin rose, or whether or not it was the reason Ethereum rose, I don't know. You know, I don't think we'll ever know. But, you know, at this point, I think it's not time to be, I mean, this fear is just time to throw it away. It's going to be okay. There's not going to be any Tether blow-ups. Fingers crossed. Remember, 60% of the time, I'm right all the time. All right. So there's that. And then here's a funny story. But this shows you, you know, one of the good reasons for holding Bitcoin and crypto is if you do control your own key, right, and you password protect it, that's pretty much it. No one has access to it. So here's a German man who is keeping $60 million to the Bitcoin from the police. So he got arrested. The police is asking for his password, and he's like, nope, I forgot it. And they're trying to crack Bitcoin. Well, good luck with that. That's not going to happen. So basically, this $60 million is gone until he gets released from jail, and then he gets access to $60 million. But I'm sure they'll go track his wallet address and so forth. But, I mean, here's the thing, right? When you actually hold on to your own crypto, onto your own wallet, and you control your private keys, it is yours. No one can get access to it. No one could do anything with it, right? There's no third party in between. There's no auditor, nothing like that that's asking you questions, what you're doing with your money, where you're sending to, and blah, 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 right? They're not doing any of that. So that is one of the big reasons to hold your own crypto, right? Obviously, you do have to be careful. You have to make sure the private key and the password to access the private key is secured, right? But this is one of the beauties of being your own bank, right? So just kind of funny story that's been swirling around here. All right. Honestly, those are just that's it for news. There's not a whole lot of news. I mean, the big one that I covered this morning is that Ethereum futures is coming on Tuesday on the 9th. But outside of that, there's really no other news. So I'm just going to turn to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to keep most of the session. I'll keep today's session short and basically just answer a whole lot of questions and look at a whole lot of altcoins at this point. Bitcoin is above $39,000. Obviously still around 490-ish. Ethereum is coming back to 1,700. So I don't know where this panic is coming from some of you guys. It's like every little thing. It's like, oh no, we're gonna have a drop. At this point, you gotta throw that out the window, right? It's just things are lining up perfectly. Bitcoin for corporations just ended. You have that, and you have a whole lot of companies that's looking to buy at this point. A whole lot. And plus retail investors, and let's not forget them. A lot of Wall Street bets people, they're coming into crypto. They're not oblivious to Bitcoin. They realize the only way to really hurt Wall Street, truly hurt Wall Street and the banks that are supporting them, is to buy Bitcoin. And they're realizing that. And not only that, meme coins like Dogecoin and all these other ones. So that's also coming. So retail is also coming in. So right now, definitely a good time. Good time to be holding, good time to be buying, right? And there's so much to look forward to. All right. So I'll turn to you guys for some Q&A. I am drinking my usual cheap Miller Lite beer, which I enjoy. So let's do this. I don't really like Oceanic. I don't like Horizon because Horizon is a privacy coin, and I don't like privacy coins overall because I think they're all gonna be delisted pretty soon. So I don't think they're gonna do well in the future. In case you guys are asking about ETH, I'm not gonna talk too much about ETH because guess what? This morning, this morning's video was entirely basically about ETH. And that video is actually doing really well. Really, really well. ETH to 10,000. So in case you guys are asking about where ETH is going, that's the number. And I give all the reasons for that. So make sure you check out that video. And that video actually was doing very, very well. Still, like, a lot of people watching it right now. Mitch asks, do you think it's dumb to hold 80-20 BTC alts? That's not dumb at all. Even if it was 100 to 0, 100% BTC, 0% alts is not dumb because no one ever loses by holding Bitcoin. Okay, but here's the thing. That's why I kind of revealed last few days that I had a change of mindset. I've looked at the performance, right? Especially like say something like Ethereum. You look at 1 month performance, outperform Bitcoin, right? And then you look at 3 months, outperform Bitcoin. You go back 6 months, outperform Bitcoin. And not just Ethereum, some others too, like Polkadot, for example. And even if you go back 1 year, it's still more than doubled of Bitcoin. And same thing with Polkadot, Cardano, Link, right? It made me really think about, altcoins are here to stay. There's a lot of people that is really into altcoins. They can stand on their own, and it's not just pump and dumps. And besides the big caps, I've been looking at so many small caps, mid caps. They all show a lot of promise. No, I take that back. Not all, but there is a lot that show very good promise, and they're led by terrific teams and backers, and it's very different than all the random stuff that was coming out in 2017 during ICOs. So for me, I'm diversifying a lot more. I used to be more like you. I was like 99-1. Then I went to like 90-10, then more like 80-20. Now I'm trying to get down to actually like a 50-50 breakup. 50% Bitcoin and 50% altcoins, because I think there's so much more potential that's in the space now. So it's not dumb for you, but I'm just saying I'm thinking right now is a good time to be diversifying a little bit more. Have I dipped my fries in Frosty yet? No. No, I have not. I don't think I'm going to ever do that. What did I miss? It's time to upgrade your beer, George. Hey, you're already a Patreon. You don't need to send me a super chat, but I appreciate it. I like cheap beer. I can't lie about that. I like cheap beer. Mitch, yeah, watch those videos. I see you switch, maybe 50-50. Been watching it since 2017. I liked 75-25. Always get burned on alt and taxes kill me. Well, taxes will kill you either way. Taxes is all, right? And speaking of taxes, I partnered up with CryptoTrader.tax. So if you do want to generate a tax report really easily from all the exchanges, make sure you check them out. I do have a 20% code if you use my my link in the description. So I just want to throw that out there. Taxes is never fun, but it's one of those things, right? One of those things in life that you can't ignore. Now, I get it. I'm just like you guys, right? I feel like sometimes right now, especially right now, alts are just going insane, right? Some of these evaluations, I feel like they're insane, especially the DeFi ones that have gone up hundreds of percents within the last few months, right? It feels kind of like the tail end of 2018 when everything was going up, right? But, you know, my bigger picture, my macro picture of DeFi is this. You know, if you look at traditional finance, centralized finance, how much the banks are worth, how much assets they hold, it's enormous. And those assets are, you know, they could be paper ones like derivatives, options, futures, credit default swaps, whatever else there is. And then legit ones like real estate, like physical ones, right? And you look at what's going on with DeFi right now, the total locked in assets and the total market cap of DeFi is so small, minuscule, very minuscule, not even compared to the banks, even compared to the overall market cap of the entire crypto space. That's how I'm looking at it, right? Right now, if you look at all the locked in DeFi assets, including the market caps of the DeFi projects, you're looking at only about 5 to 6% of the total market cap. That is really small, really small. If you look at the assets held by the banks of the world and look at that compared to the total money supply, it is enormous. The banks pretty much own everything, right? So I'm looking at it that way, and I'm looking at just basically people looking for alternatives from traditional finance. It's very early. Mortgages, car loans, right? Personal loans, credit card loans, all those things, I see how they can move to DeFi. Maybe not right away. There'll be a transition. Some of the biggest banks and credit card vendors, they could be looking at DeFi to supplement their own offerings, right? So that's what I see. I just see, you know, it's so early. So these projects and valuations are only going to get higher. So that's kind of my gist of things. Lewis asked, how would you split 15K with BTC and ETH? I would split 50-50. If it was me, 50-50 down the line, that would be a very good split. What else is there? Did I miss anything else? Joe asked, got an email from Voyager that if you have zero balance, you are on the waiting list, but I can't fund until I'm off the waiting list, catch 22. No, I don't know. I know some people are on waiting list, but I do see people get in because they've been using my referral code, which you get $25 if you use it. And I see some of them come through. So I think they're just letting people in slowly. So just give it a little bit. Give it a little bit, and I think it'll catch up. But Voyager app is really pretty darn good. I've been using it ever since that hiccup. The few days they were down, but pretty much everyone's down. But outside of those days, it's a pretty solid app. All right, I'm scrolling through here a lot here. Riley, have any hidden gem altcoins like really good tech? I do. I've been sharing with you guys, so you guys need to look at it. I could go through some, but I do have some really good gems that I already promised my Patreon members. There's some really good ones, low ones that I plan on sharing with them. But I have shared most of the ones I found recently with you guys because, like I said, I've been doing a whole lot of research, a ton of research recently. more so than I've done in years. And I've discovered there are some damn good projects out there. There really is. And not just DeFi, just overall. There's so many that are really executing really, really, really well. So, since we have some time, let's go run through some things, right? I don't need to state the obvious. Uniswap and Aave been absolutely on fire, both 6 billion, right? So in terms of DeFi, they're definitely up there. Forgot to mention Ethereum. I'm very bullish on Ethereum now because DeFi runs on Ethereum. Futures is coming, and a new proposal that might implement burning of tokens according to usage. That will cause it to actually decrease in supply. Very nice. Polkadot, Cardano, Chainlink, awesome projects. Condre, do you answer to the dumb question that no one could answer to? I don't know what you're asking, but I'll just say yes. Dogecoin. I'm not even going to say Dogecoin. It's a meme coin, it's a joke coin, but the simple fact is this. A lot of people have bought it, believe in it, and it's go hold at whatever price people dictate it. So that's honestly how it's going to be, right? So it could just stay up here literally forever and keep going up from here. So don't discount Dogecoin. Theta is an awesome project. Man, they have so much going for them, so don't skip on Theta. I gotta give a shout out to Maker because they have been pumping up a lot. If you look at the locked-in value in terms of total assets, they actually have more than Aave, but they work differently. That's why they're not as hot. But recently, they've been pumping up to the moon because they are technically DeFi. And you know what? I think they could go much higher too. After I researched Compound, I love Compound. At 2.2 billion, roughly, a third. Let's just say a third. I know it's not a third, a little bit less than a third. A third of Aave, they could definitely catch up. So Compound, I think, has a huge future too. UMA looks pretty good. At least a lot of hype. You could create a lot of synthetic tokens like wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Dogecoin, stuff like that DeFi could use. Solana, terrific. Another terrific blockchain that is very fast. A lot of Ethereum dApp makers are moving to Solana because of the scaling issue, the high gas price, and so forth, right? Elrond is a pretty good one too. Fantastic leadership. And they do have a lot. I think they're moving to DeFi as well. I haven't looked that much into them recently, but good project. Terra is a new one that I discovered. Fantastic project. They've been pumping up to the moon too, but the leaders are already proven entrepreneurs. They already own a ton of retail stores in South Korea. They have an app that's working, that's utilizing the Terra KRW, which is a stable coin. They also have a Terra USD. They also have like a derivatives exchange. They have a wallet, and they have something else that creates synthetic tokens, I believe. There was like 3 different things that they have. That's a really good one too. Under the radar, even though they're above $1 billion market cap, it's still in this DeFi space, very, very undervalued. Jordan, can you check out LTC BTC chart? I'm going to save you the trouble, Jordan. LTC is not going to catch up to Bitcoin. I don't care what the charts say about LTC, like the dominance, go flip or this. No. I'll save you the trouble. Buy Bitcoin. Don't buy Litecoin. There's no reason to buy Litecoin. There is 0 reason to buy Litecoin over Bitcoin. It's like buying silver over gold. No reason for that. So no need to look at any charts to tell you that. There's a few other super chats here, some big ones. All right, I gotta get to this. Pink, you misunderstood injective protocol is a super DEX that includes spot swaps, and additional features. Yeah, I could tell you really like injective protocol. No, I didn't. Misunderstand it. It's a derivatives DEX that basically handles anything, but it's very small and it's too encompassing at this point. So it's trying to do everything, and it's not the leaders of any of one of them. It's a good project, but don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm not very excited about it right now. In fact, it's just, there's a lot of things that sound promising, but I don't know. For me, it's just not interesting. And I know you're very, very, very excited about it because every single comment of yours talks about injective protocol. So it's not bad. It's just, I don't know. Something about it doesn't excite me right now. Nexo is a lending company, but they were one of the first ones, but I don't hear a lot about them. Something about them that made them, just lose their spot. They were number one, and then they just really lost it to everyone else. I don't know the reason. But they are in that space as well. Celsius is also in that space, and the reason why it didn't pump up is because it's not on Binance. That's the reason why, but it's doing relatively well even without Binance's help. The graph is a terrific concept to give API access to projects. Kusama, pretty good because it's a test bed for Polkadot. Algorand, is another promising protocol, but I didn't really look that much into them. Zilliqa, some people are holders of Zilliqa, right? They have some big stuff coming. Token creation, DEX, and there's a whole bunch more. So they do have some stuff that's coming too. Ren, pretty interesting. Maybe I got Ren and another project mixed up. Hold on. Maybe I got this and another one messed up. No, yeah, I did get it. I got the other one messed up. So there, basically with Ren, you're bring tokenized assets to Ethereum for DeFi purposes. So I got Ren confused with another project, UMA. I think they're both in the same space. That's why I got messed up. Nexo is here, right? Swissberg, they're making good progress, but the app is not open to US citizens, so I can't test it, but they seem to be doing really well. Hashgraph somehow is coming up back to life. They actually, if you look at it, they actually have a ton of good partnerships. A lot of big enterprise companies use them. Unfortunately, I just don't think, I don't think they're very sexy at this point. That's the reason why no one's really paying attention to them. But they're actually pretty good. A 1inch, I really like 1inch ever since I discovered them. A DEX aggregator, Voyager, I really like them ever since I discovered them. I talked about the really good app and team and everything about them. BAT I still like because of the Brave browser, right? I haven't looked at Quant in a long time. I know Pedro, who's a regular, always used to show Quant when it was around 40, 50 million market cap. So it's been up almost 10x since then. So congratulations to him if he's still holding. But Quant is like a protocol coin, but it's also more geared for businesses. So they're actually pretty good too. Moving down, some people like Phantom. Phantom kind of did a redirection where they're looking at creating synthetic items too. So that kind of got them lifted a little bit. So a lot of hype around Phantom. Engine is good, very good for creation of NFTs. Pancake Swap, I told you guys, gave you this little tidbit. They're actually really good. 300 million, really undervalued at this point because they're built on Binance Chain. They're kind of like a Uniswap, Sushi Swap on Binance Chain. So they have real good potential to go up, especially with Ethereum being so congested right now. Yeah, Funfair, they've been pumping, and I don't know why, but they're involved with making, providing protocol for gambling stuff. So, kind of interesting there. Ali. George, I'm not looking forward to futures. They could easily short ETH now, and they waited until it hit all-time high like they did. Here's the thing. They could have... That's true. But, with so much derivatives out there already, there's futures that exist on exchanges, and there's options that exist on exchanges. There's already shorting going on, right? But I get your point. This morning, that was my whole thing about futures. Whether or not it's going to be the same because Bitcoin futures pop Bitcoin in 2018 is going to pop Ethereum. I think no, because I think the landscape is different. There's actually an appetite for Ethereum and appetite from institutional investors. That's why Grayscale Ethereum Trust is actually growing exponentially because there is interest in it. So I do think that's going to help with it. I think Ethereum futures overall will help Ethereum. But I guess we'll wait and see, because if Ethereum dives a couple days from now, then we'll know that I was wrong, and that's the point. But I don't think so. I think what we're seeing right now is a lot of investors, especially looking at crypto, they're looking at the big dogs, the number one players, right? And Michael Saylor made this point. If you have a project that's worth over $100 billion and is leading the way, then you bet on those kind of companies, right? In the case of crypto, you have two. You have Bitcoin. That's the biggest store value. That's why I say there's no point of buying Litecoin, because it's not going to do better than Bitcoin. So you have Bitcoin as the biggest store value. Then you have Ethereum as the biggest network protocol out there, the one that is going to power the future dApps. Yes, there's congestion issues. Gas prices are insane right now, right? But dApps are getting smart. They're trying to figure out layer 2 solutions, or there's some kind of other solution to make things a little bit better. But you know what? Ethereum is trying to fix it. It might take a while, but they still have all the momentum, the development base, the loyal followers, right? That's not gonna go away. And look at them. They are more than doubled from $100 billion, and they are way bigger than everyone else, right? So Ethereum, I think the institutions see them as that big dog when it comes to network protocols. So that's why they're betting their money on them. So I think futures will not be a bad thing for Ethereum. But again, 60% of the time, I'm right all the time. Best cold wallet is Ledger Nano, still safe bet. It is. I just hate all the scam emails. But they seem to have died down because Ledger, their email server was hacked. So unfortunately, a lot of people's emails was like spammed continuously. So you don't know what's real and what's not. But the wallet itself is still safe and it's still good. So you have two options. You have Ledger and Trezor. But there's others, right? Trezor is also not bad. A lot of people use them. So you take your pick, right? As long as it's a hardware wallet, you're good. You're good. So guys, should I use Coinbase wallet on my phone? Well, if you're a newbie, then yeah, Coinbase is fine. But I suggest something like Gemini over Coinbase. Less chance of you just being kicked out for no reason. And also, take a look at Voyager. If they let you in, Voyager is a pretty easy to use app. So I do like them quite a bit. ADA will double next month. I don't know. I don't know if they will. They might. You know what? If they do, I think a lot of other projects will also. Polkadot and Cardano are neck and neck, kind of like Uniswap and Aave, even though they don't compete. But Polkadot and Cardano, they're really fighting for number 2 right now. In fact, they're trying to fight for number 1, but there's a big gap between number 1 and number 2 and 3. But they are certainly fighting. They will be surpassing XRP in the near future. So they're going to be right behind Ethereum. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when Cardano is finished. So... no, don't ask me about Dragon Chain. That project is dead. They mismanaged themselves to death. So their claim to fame was they were incubated by Disney for some reason. But you know what? No. Doge. A lot of people asking about Doge. I mean, Doge is a meme coin. It was created as a joke, right? But you know what? You have so many people that believe in it because it's funny, or they want to make a point, or they're just simply making money with it. So they're buying and holding, and Elon seems to like it a lot and keeps pumping it. So it's amazing that it's holding at this value at 6 billion market cap. But guess what? You know, just like with anything else, if you have a group of people that believe in it, they dictate the value, and if this group of people dictate it's worth $6 billion, then it's worth $6 billion. It's just like Bitcoin, right? Like non-Bitcoiners will say, it's ridiculous that Bitcoin is worth $732 billion. Well, you have a group of people that believe in it and is buying it and is holding at this price. That's why it's worth so much, right? So it's kind of the same thing in Dogecoin. So you can't fault the Dogecoin holders because it's the same concept, even though it is a meme coin, but it's a meme coin that's also a store of value now. So why not? Why not? Thoughts on staking ETH? Well, you know, for stake 2.0, not bad, but you have to stake it for a while. You can't, what I heard is once you stake, you can't withdraw it until the mainnet is out for Ethereum 2.0. So you might have to stake for a very, very, very long time. Someone just before asked me about Reef. Reef is like a DEX that aggregates centralized exchanges and non-centralized exchanges. So it's built on Polkadot. Outside of that, I don't know. It doesn't really excite me in any way. There's a lot of players in this scene, so I don't know. I think ETH is going to go to 10K, not 3K. It's going to go to 10K in probably 6 months. I think Ethereum will be at 10K in 6 months. Ever heard of Fuse? 5 million market cap, but it has been out for a while. If it's 5 million market cap, probably not. But real quick, just to be fair, let's look at it. Is it on Uniswap? Yup, it is. Turning communities into thriving economies, allowing companies and commodities to enable secure and frictionless mobile payments with ease. Well, how does it do that? Introducing a Fuse wallet. Yeah, to be frank, there's too many that's like this. Basically, it's a really nice wallet that you can pay from, you can trade from, you can buy from. That's what it looks like. And there's just too many that's in this space. So I can see why they are stuck at where they are. So unfortunately, I'm not a fan of them. 10K in 6 months and I can quit my job. Well, congratulations, VIP. I think you're about to quit your job in 6 months. That's what I think. I wish I could come out with a Georgecoin and not get sued by the SEC. So that's always a danger. Die buying, appreciate you. Even if you like cheap beers, new Patreon member. Thank you for joining. Congratulations. I think you're going to love it. In Patreon, I have a group of people that's chatting and asking questions and sharing ideas in Discord and also getting some good newsletters from me. I like to think so. But if you guys are interested, check it out. Also, if you want a crash course on Bitcoin, check out my Teachable page. But you know what? Despite those, services, I'm still trying to give you guys as much as I can in every one of my streams. And right now, Bitcoin is looking very, very, very good. As I've been talking, 39.5. It's about to break through 40,000, right? And we'll see if it could break through and hold, or it's going to come back down. I mean, the indicators actually look like there's pretty 4-hour daily. It could break, but all these indicators are a little bit high. So actually, I think it might hit and come down, but we'll see. We'll see. It really depends on the buying pressure. Celsius wallet, is it safe? Celsius is a big project, so I think it's pretty safe. I think it is pretty safe. But besides Bitcoin, right, some of these altcoins are taking a little dive because that money is being drained and put into Bitcoin. But rest assured, once Bitcoin kind of stalls out, and it always does, then money flows in, and that's when things pump. But you know why? But the good thing is that's why right now is a perfect buying opportunity. So many of you guys have been worried about buying, DeFi and alts when they're so high. They're pumped up like 50% or 100% in the last week. Now they're coming down, right? So now it's the time to pay attention, buy the dips, dollar cost average, get in at a lower cost, because when it comes back up, that's how you benefit, right? That's how you're going to make money. You buy it low. You buy when it's dropping. You don't want to buy when it's high, right? You want to do the reverse what you guys usually do. And that's how you thrive in the crypto market. I heard of Algorand. It's just a nice protocol coin, but nothing really different about it. Nothing really different about it. Aave price prediction, I mean, it's going to the moon. I think Aave and Uniswap, they're going to be in the top 10 in the near future. I think there's a lot more potential for both. So, yeah, they're going to go. They're going to go much higher. They're going to go much higher. Max, you should know my thoughts on Voyager, man. I've been talking about Voyager. I have created videos on Voyager. Voyager is a nice app, nice team, everything about it. When I covered them, they were about 70-something cents. Now they're close to $3. So they're definitely going in the right direction, and I think the upside is a lot more than that. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I got plans, so hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of it tonight. But right now, Bitcoin is looking really, really strong. It's pumping, and it's actually draining out the altcoins, which is actually a really good thing. It's a good buying opportunity. So some of the coins I've mentioned to you guys in the past and today, make sure you look at them and take advantage if you can, because I do think we're going to have a fantastic weekend. Tomorrow and Sunday, I think we're going to see some very, very, very big moves. Lewis asks, how many ETH do you think I need to have to get out of hood in 1 year? There's no right or wrong answer to that. As much as you can. As much as you can. I do think it's going to go to 10,000 in 6 months, so you do the math. That's about 4x, 5x from here. Francisco asks, I bought 40K of XLM. Can you give me some TA? I don't know why. I think that's fake. Recently, I've been having a lot of questions about like that. Like, I put all my money in XLM and stuff like that. If it is fake, I don't know why it's happening, but if it's real, why would you do that? I don't know why you would do that. There's really nothing going for XLM right now. I'm neutral on them because there's nothing going on. Other than USDC launched on Stellar, there is no initiatives right now. They have nothing with IBM anymore. So I don't know what they're doing. There's so much others that have so much more promise at this point. So I don't know why you would put all that into XLM. So I have a feeling that that's just a fake thing, a fake super chat, just to get me to look at them. But yeah, that's my thoughts on XLM. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for my video tomorrow. Maybe not at 11 a.m., but maybe I'll keep my same schedule. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And like I said, have a good night. Check out my Patreon and Teachable, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.